Recording. So this Udemy YouTube. So this whole thing is going to be recorded. Welcome to our Forex League live trading session. We do these Tuesday through Thursday. They're completely free. Um, the way we like to start off is we just come over into our Discord community. This is where everything goes down. Come over to the fundamental analysis. Every day we're posting some fundamental analysis. That was the fundamental analysis from today. You guys shouldn't be seeing that because if you're not paid, you shouldn't be seeing it, but whatever. Yesterday, we posted our market overview for the week. So let's read through this real quick, just to get an idea of what this week is looking like. So quiet day in the markets, talking about Sunday. We can see some strength in U.S. dollar. That proved itself yesterday. That is not caused by any fundamental news reports. The Australian dollar is going to also gain strength against AJ or against JPY over the positive tone around the coronavirus. We expect the Canadian dollar to remain weak against the Japanese yen because the oil price are getting even lower. So like we talked about Sunday, the Canadian dollar correlates very closely with oil, the value of oil. That will likely damage the Canadian economy. Canadian economy is poop. As we said in previous analysis, as long as the coronavirus is around, the news, we are going to keep it safe and not overtrade. There are some articles for U.S. stocks that can be useful. The stock futures were following a decline in U.S. oil prices, which raises concern about how deep the economic slowdown will be this quarter and also hit the prices of energy stocks. I think the price of oil dropping shows how fragile things are right now. And the U.S., I think, is going to scramble to reopen based on the fear of that happening to other industries. Negative impact on stock futures from oil likely would have been worse if not for lesser declines in oil contracts expiring during future months. WTI's June contract slid over 8% to $22.78 per barrel. July's oil contract was down 5%. It was a strange phenomenon that analysts chalked up to the collapse in demand for oil. So what Nick just pretty much went over. Yesterday we entered a sell position, CAD JPY, ran into some good profit. Obviously, we've got some technicals for today. I'm not going to read through those, but if you guys, this is recorded. So at this point, if you just look back in the video, you can read through it. This is what's included in our premium signals. It's like a bonus every day, 2 fundamental updates, and the market overview, and occasionally some like position trades. Signals yesterday that went out, we're going to go over GU, CAD, JPY, both running into considerable profit right now, which is good. And it just proves that, we're nearing 3% on both of these positions. This is what I was talking about with signals, guys. For you guys that are taking free signals, check this. Make sure that you guys are being told what to risk. And if you're not being told what to risk, set a risk parameter for yourself. So 2%, 3%, and use this position size calculator. Use this position size calculator. I'll use this on every trade. I just posted in the chat. So basically the goal here is if we're risking 1.5% for every trade and we let our winners run, then we're actually calculating how much our account is making as opposed to dropping one lots, which is like maybe a 20% risk if you got, it all depends on your stop loss. So, how you calculate your risk, use 1.5%. Say you have like a $2,000, or let's do $1,000 account. You risk 1% of that. That's realistically $10. 1.5% would be $15. So you got to divide $15 by the stop loss, by the points. So it would be 15 divided by 1,000. That would get what your lot size would be for this. Obviously very small because that's what would be good risk percentage for you. So you'd risk that, and then you'd hold, we instruct you when to move your stops to 0, ideally when you're up like 1-to-1. There's so many ways to maintain, but anyway, the goal is that you should be worrying about your percentage gains, for your account. You should be risking a very similar amount, either 1%, 2% on more positions you have more confirmations. And then that way you can measure your results a little bit better as opposed to, oh, I made 100 pips. Oh, I made 1,000 pips. Well, what was the position, the lot size you entered? What did you risk? Because I had a member message me and they were doing well in our signals, and then they blew their account or whatever on one trade because they risked 50% on every trade. And eventually that's going to bite you in the ass, because this market, you will not always be right. No one will. Everyone that's just posting wins or whatever, you're not going to always be right. That's why you got to risk and you got to be realistic about what's going on here. So let's just start a little bit of a lesson. We'll do a trade review. We'll put out a more extended version of this for the members later in the week. But basically, this is what we went over on GU yesterday or Sunday. Daily time frame, rejected our weekly or monthly level of resistance, 200-day moving average. And then basically, we were waiting for a bearish setup. We got these bearish, variation, but that didn't break any sort of structure. And then at the close yesterday, we got this bearish engulfing. That was a big sign right there. Go down to the 1 hour, 1 hour time frame. This was the level that we needed to break based on 1 hour structure. This was a nice high or low. Then we were just consolidating at this level multiple times, forming these lower highs. Realistically, at the end of this push, we were forming some sort of descending triangle, which is normally a continuation. I was looking at that pattern as well. And then we just got this break below, retest, bearish engulfing, pretty much one of the better setups that you're going to see right here.
That's pretty clean.
Yeah, like this is a true transition, true depreciation in value, and then break, retest, entry. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what we're looking for right there.
Yep.
Now we're going to maintain this. My target is this 4 hour level down here. I targeted like the bottom of this. I just drew this based on support, resistance right here, support. So we're coming back down to that level. Daily time frame, we did break into some sort of bearish trend, but at the same time, I'm fibbing on my daily time frame. This isn't any sort of structure that was formed right here. There was no real retest or whatever. So we were just looking to find, our next lower high, and we ended up finding it here based on this daily, engulfing. We're finding a lot of resistance. We're pushing right now. Could we make it to 38.2? Potentially, but look at this level. This is a serious level, previous daily support as well. So GU, I'm just maintaining this trade. I'm not going to look for any sort of re-entries. Look how low it is. You'd be crazy to enter right now. So yeah, that's GU. Let's go over to UJ. So UJ's been really messing around in this area. Let's bump up to the weekly time frame. Let's bump up to the weekly time frame on UJ. Last week closed with this bearish, variation, but a lot of exhaustion, which is telling me we're probably not ready to push quite yet, unless something crazy happens. Daily time frame, I've got it fibbed on the daily. Again, fibs, look for the time frame that you see structure the clearest. And I'm talking like daily 4 hour. Daily time frame, clearly downtrend, made these lows, retested 100, retested this level, formed another lower high. Now we really need to break this. Candlestick analysis. We failed to engulf. Just going to drag this across. We failed to engulf right here. And that's why we're now getting some bullish, pullbacks. If we can't, today's a big day. If we fail to engulf this candle or form or a morning star, I could see us falling further. But if we close above this, like basically above this level, it's going to be more ideal to look for longs in this situation right now. So we're just consolidating. I was saying yesterday, to be safe, I would have really waited. I would really wait for a break below this level down here, this 107,200, before we really do get short. And then on the flip side, like I said, if we do break above here, boom, like this, break above here and retest, I'm just gonna drag this level across these highs. We're just playing it. We're playing it safe. We're playing it safe. We break above here. little bit of a retest. We'll look for something similar to GU. We'll look to go, in this instance, we'll look to go long into these higher levels. First, let me clean this up a little bit, take this off, drag this across. This is definitely a level here. So we'll look to get into this zone. We'll look to get up into this zone right here. So again, this is just in some consolidation. Ideally, we want to be trading within, trending markets. Yeah, USD is getting strong right now. I can imagine there's going to be some updates today.
Yep, I'm going to cover that too when he's done.
Yeah, I can imagine there's going to be some updates to come today with USD, with the dollar. So let's go over to UCAD or USEF. USEF, yesterday we were waiting to break below here, but based on this dollar, like we're actually looking to long now. We're looking to long USEF. I believe we dropped some analysis in here on USEF. This is exactly what we're looking for right now. We're looking for the break of this trend line, looking to long. Obviously yesterday we talked about this trend line. If we did respect that, we just had a break and retest and 4-hour engulfing. So hallelujah, like have fun. I mean, I would definitely consider some sort of short opportunities now. We can size up. Let's bump down to a lower time frame, 30-minute. So 30-minute, obviously, let's clear this off. 30-minute, we had like a minor break right here. Obviously, didn't hold to be significant at all. Let's bump up to the 1 hour and just clear things up a little bit more. So on this 1 hour time frame, we're retesting, these highs. We just got that 4-hour engulfing, which is interesting. I think we're still waiting. I see, huge level here. So we are still waiting on this level, based on us being all the way at these highs right now. We're definitely waiting for some sort of break of this. Let's see. So this is going to be.
This would be us getting in on a confirmed higher low, right? Because we see a break of resistance. Looks like there's a transition to the upside on this 1 hour time frame. And we'll be looking for setups to form right here at this, higher low, testing broken resistance as support.
We've got a question in here. Since it's at you're talking about USAF right now?
UCAD or USAF?
Since it's at 61.8 on the 4-hour. Oh,
wait to see what happens.
Yeah, I don't know if you're talking about USAF or UCAD. Yes. Basically, I mean, this is the 4-hour. I'm not sure where you have fibbed. To be completely honest, is it based on the fib that I have on now? Because realistically, what I'm looking at is daily time frame. This is our main level. This rejection here, 88.6. A lot of orders were found there. 4-hour time frame. Obviously, we're breaking bullish. 4-hour looks very bullish. Had this high, had this higher low, had this high, had this higher low. Obviously, formed this lower high, which is what we're monitoring on the daily that we need to really break to go higher. But just look at this. We're transitioning right now. We just broke, a serious level that was respected 3 times. We just not only broke, but we confirmed the break with a large bullish engulfing. At this point, on the lower time frames, let's just focus in on this 1-hour trend. Doesn't look too great, to be completely honest. But at the same time, formed some highs, formed a higher low, had some consolidation, retested these highs, formed a new high. This was definitely a significant higher low here. So before considering any short opportunities, this is the level that I would need to break. So obviously we're long, and like Nick said, ideally we're looking to get in on a confirmed higher low. Right here we're just forming some highs. So I don't see a clear breakout style entry at the moment, unless I were to just be very aggressive and I were to long right now and I just were to put stops like in this area, pretty much 65 pips right here. Check out the Forex just sent what I'm looking at. Okay, let me see. Let me pull up. And this is a good concept for you guys. If you guys have questions, where did you send it at? If you guys have questions, feel free to share your analysis, to send it up. Makila, I don't know where you sent your charts at.
Public? Public.
Just let me know and I'll take a look. Direct chat.
Oh, so DMs.
Forex League. Oh, send it to Forex League Help. Don't send it to Forex League Analysis because I'm not logged into that one right now. You could also just post it in the Forex channel, realistically.
Yeah.
But whenever you do that, I'll take a look at it. But yeah, so right now, if I were to, long, this would be my current outlook. I'd realistically only be targeting 1-to-1 because we know that these highs are very significant right here. So let's take a look. Ace 618. Yeah, see, I'm not fibbing in that direction because that's not how I'm seeing the trend, right now. I see on the 4-hour you're fibbing from this to this to this. But realistically, like this trend right now on the 4-hour time frame has been bullish. This trend has been bullish. This has been forming some higher lows, higher low right here. We could throw on a little bit of a trend line or
It's more
whatever.
bullish than else. Like, yeah, there are lower time frame, bearish trends, but again, you always want to keep your fib on kind of one of the macro time frames, like the 4-hour, daily.
Yeah, like on this daily time frame, definitely bearish. And this is where I really see structure the clearest. Like look at this lower low, lower high. This is where I see structure the clearest. There's a lot of noise when I come down to the 4-hour. That's why I'm keeping my fib on the daily. And then on the 4-hour, I'm looking, okay, what is this 4-hour trend? Because realistically, the 4-hour started to form higher highs and higher lows all the way down here, form this high. This is now a higher low, made this lower high. So we failed up here. That's why this trend line started to come into play. And then we just consolidated again, made this higher low. So this 4-hour is all over the place. The 4-hour to break back bullish, I'm just looking at this minor structure now. Minor structure. I'm looking at this trend line. This trend line realistically broke, to the upside. And then also on the daily, since we're failing on the daily, like doing some daily candlestick analysis, we have obviously 7.5 hours left. But look at this daily. We had bullish, 2 bullish candles, bullish variation, failed bearish candle, moving averages just crossed, doji, and then now we're getting a bullish candle right now. You know what I'm saying? So last 5 days, we're getting a lot of buyers at the moment. And the previous level that we found a lot of sellers was up here multiple times. So that's why I'm looking at those levels, and that's why I'm just using price action though. Use price action, 1-hour time frame, definitely bullish right now. Definitely need to break this level before we get bearish on this 1-hour time frame. So, a lot of time frame correlation going on here. I know there's a lot to think about. Let's hop over to UCAD. Take a look. UCAD has been running crazy. Let's go to the daily. So UCAD has been finding a lot of buyers. As you can see, yesterday closed bullish. So we're going to take a zoom out. I'm going to reevaluate UCAD for a minute. Let's hop all the way up to the monthly. Again, let's just be mindful of where we are at on the monthly time frame. Monthly time frame, we are in this, we formed this wick last month, huge wick here. So let's go down so we see things a little bit more clearly. Supply zone, huge supply zone here previously that price fell from, never recovered. Now we're in there. I'm still thinking that we're going to fall out of here again, but UCAD's definitely fucking around right now a lot. So basically doing some candlestick analysis. We had this bearish engulfing yesterday, closed with this low volume candle, a lot of exhaustion, a lot of buyers exhaustion here. But now we gapped up. I guess that was last week. Now we gapped up. We gapped up this week. We're getting bullish. Let's go to the daily time frame. Daily time frame, realistically, we had like a minor break of like this support level here, but I don't see things that clearly right now, right? Things do not look very clear on the daily. Let me get down to the 4-hour. And the 4-hour time frame is going to become our friend at the moment. Overall supply zone. So I'm in a supply zone. That's a bearish confirmation for me. I'm going to go over GJ. That's a bearish confirmation for me. Again, what I was looking at with this on the 4-hour was we formed this higher low, which was significant. Then we formed this lower high, and we made new lows here. We made new lows. So that's why my fib was from here to here. We were measuring and we were looking for this move. We were looking for this move that inevitably failed. It was riding this 200-day moving average, and it failed. USD became very strong. So at the moment, we are actually going bullish on UCAD. But I'm not going to trade anything with UCAD. You know, if I were to refib, I would probably fib from here to here. We're hitting this first projection level. You know, next projection level or back at these highs. But I'm not taking any positions on UCAD. I don't see things that clearly on here, which is fine. So I'm just going
Especially
to
with
wait.
oil news, you kind of want to just be aware that this is going to be more risk presented in any given trade just because of, just because of oil. And it's going to be definitely driven by fundamentals in the short term.
Yeah, so I'm going to just wait. I'm going to just wait on UCAD. See, I'm going to leave this on red. I'm not exactly high on this for today.
Yeah.
Oh, so this thing went crazy. This was a trade that I missed out on that I was looking at. Let's go up to the weekly. So obviously this thing was bearish. This thing's very bearish. Below the moving averages, got a lot of rejection off our weekly support level, which was like, okay, but at the same time, this was breaking. This broke this level up here, had this bullish engulfing. We were talking about this yesterday. But then as we come down to this lower time frame, pretty much what we were looking at was we were coming back into this red zone, red resistance zone, all the way on the 1-hour. We were forming 1-hour structure, higher high, higher low, forming these highs, but we were getting pretty weak with this channel. We fell out of this channel, bearish engulfing right here. This would have been a nice intraday trade for sure yesterday, but I just didn't even see this. I wasn't even checking. So this would have been a nice intraday trade just based on resistance level. Look at all this confluence with the moving averages, crossing 200-day moving average. Again, breaking below our trend line, back up to this 4-hour time frame. 4-hour time frame, bearish engulfing, 2 confirmations, resistance, bearish engulfing. That would have been enough for us to get down to this 30-minute. Then 30-minute structure was very clean on this, forming some highs and higher lows. Inevitably, channel broke this level right here. This was also a serious level of support. That turned into resistance. So yeah, NU, let's look at what we could look at for NU for today at this point. Let's clear this off. Again, this is important to do. Just because we missed a trade doesn't matter. We got to look for the next trade. So clear this off. Let's come to the daily time frame. We're back in this level of support now, right here. Obviously, things are looking very bearish at the moment, but on this 4-hour time frame, we really need this to break. We really need this to break. I will not take any orders until we see now at this point a break below this level, a retest. This is a very significant weekly level of structure right here, weekly key level. So we're going to wait for a break below here like this, confirm break, retest. Then we will target lower. If we get something similar to this, we get like a pullback and then a bearish variation, pullback, bearish variation. The trend is getting very weak, and then we get some sort of bullish candle like this. Based on us being in our zone, we're gonna long. So we're just trading zone to zone. We're right where we want to be, guys. We're in the zone that we've been waiting for, and this is the most important time to use price action and to execute on a trade. So NU, I'm gonna stay on the 4-hour. I'm gonna wait and update this later today. Let's go over to GJ. So yeah, GJ has been falling pretty significantly based on this trade that was like all the way up here. Let's just go over real quick what I was looking at on this. What remains between the zones? Yes, ranging right. So all the way up on the weekly time frame on GJ, we had broken bullish, but at the same, we didn't break bullish. We're very bearish. Trend line bearish, made these lows, retesting weekly level of resistance, huge zone, daily time frame, daily fib, 50% level, not the most ideal confirmation, but this weekly resistance was. And then what we were waiting for was some sort of more bearish confirmation here. Got that yesterday, closed this nice bearish candle. So there was definitely a nice order in on this. At the same time, look at on the 4 hour, again, when we were in that zone, that's when we want to look for price action confirmation as we're in the zone. Level of support broke, retest. Look at all these retests, fucked around for days. But this is what we were looking at. All of these bearish setups, guys. Bearish engulfing here, like evening star, whatever. Bearish variation. Yeah, bearish variation here. All of these are setups that on the 30-minute we could have bumped down to, which is what we did. And this was the original analysis that was put out last week, was this arrow on this 4 hours. What we were waiting for was this arrow. Break below, retest. This is what we're talking about. This is money. Obviously, it went a lot farther than we thought, which is
still nonetheless was in the right direction. Plenty of execution opportunities and properly managed. After that final support level was broken, this thing just nose dove off a cliff. So it was a really good trade, and you could have continued to manage it if you had practiced closing 80% at your final TP, letting the rest run, or so on. However you manage it. So definitely a lot of opportunity in this trade from GJ. This was a good one.
Yeah, really good trade here. And with all of this going on, you guys shouldn't be discouraged with a lot of this consolidation. I know we went over this yesterday. We were waiting, to see what happens, but as soon as this lower high forms, we're below this zone. Look how much price fell off here. Price fell off here for good reason.
8, 6, 2.
Price fell off here for good reason. It's because we're trading out of our key level. So at this point, obviously, let's look and see what we're looking at now. We just broke below a very, very important level.
Yep.
Right here.
So this is now saying to us, yep, on the 4 hour. This is even playing into a daily move. So we've seen, as Angelo said, the 1 hour transition, the 4 hour transitions, breaking these lower time frame support levels. So he has to keep bumping up. And now this is turning into potentially a daily move where there's a lot more, potential pips on the table, more profit on the table for all.
Yeah, so this is what we talk about with, we're swing traders. We don't necessarily identify as that because we just use top-down analysis.
Right.
We use top-down analysis. We take intraday moves and we try to turn them into swing trades. So we try to hold them and manage them with the right, with our rules. We try to maintain and capture as the most profit as possible. So I feel like any trader is trying to do this. You're trying to let your winners run. We just have a whole entire strategy around that.
Yeah, exactly. And it works consistent, and it makes a big difference when you do catch a giant move like this. Let's just say if it did fall all the way to the monthly, that's more than double the original trade. So definitely a great tool to have. This way it also helps you psychologically, because a lot of people early on feel a type of way after they close 100 pips and the trade went 200-300 pips. They say, oh, I left all that money on the table. I could have made 300. I could have made this much, and that's not necessarily the right way to approach it. Rather than leaving a small bit in the trade, constantly managing and maximizing your potential profit.
So let's look at what can we do now if we get consolidation below this 4 hour level of support that just broke. We could look for entries. So we'll update this.
Yeah.
With GJ as we test this level. I can imagine we're going to range quite a bit today.
Mm-hmm.
Again, things that we're going to look for: flags, pennants, rectangles, whatever other shape you guys know. So,
and as always, strong variations. In this case, it would be bearish potentially, and also just the more confluence, the better. The more indicators or things that you can check off for a trade that can give you more confidence in it, the better. Because again, we're in the pursuit of high probability trades, and that's what we find the most success with. So let me hop on this chart here. I just want to go over a couple potential trade ideas for you guys this week. I'm going to cover DXY to start, though.
Yeah, let's go. Administrative Professionals Day. Happy Administrative Professionals Day, everybody.
Wow. That's exciting.
What a holiday.
It's exciting stuff. All right, guys. So here we go. This is DXY. It's maintaining. Let's just jump up a little bit here. It's bullish on all major time frames, right? We had this large amount of volatility. This was at the the start of the lockdown, and now we've been kind of seeing consolidation to some extent in this area above our monthly around 98.50. We've been seeing it range between 101 and 98.50 for quite some time now. So again, just to give you guys the overall sentiment, very bullish on the weekly, daily, monthly, and now 4-hour. So this is that 4-hour trend, right? It's still bullish, right? We're getting these higher lows. We're getting these, breaks of lower time frame structure here, continuing this 4-hour trend. And that's what we're seeing today. There's a little bit of bullish volume coming out of DXY. We're seeing react throughout the market. Some currencies more than others. And I'm going to show you an example in a second here. So we see this push, right? Good push. The highest I think this could go is 101. And then we would see some serious volatility throughout the market. So let's go ahead and move over to AUD USD with that DXY sentiment in mind. So that would mean that this is more bearish as the US dollar appreciates, right? And that's kind of what we're seeing here. We saw this major support level broken, tested again as resistance, and then here's that bearish variation, engulfing after engulfing after engulfing. And it's looking to make a play down to the 62 area. So again, very bearish. There's no reason that this won't get here. But a potential entry opportunity would be on a pullback, right? A nice lower time frame structure level, probably right around here, would be a really nice entry opportunity, right? A nice arrow. Let's draw this arrow in. Nice pullback, good retest, healthy structure. Then you could have a potential short opportunity to this major support level. Let's see how many pips this is. About 80, 90 pips, potentially where this entry could play out. So, definitely an intraday trade, but still some good volume here on AUD USD. So we're short-term bearish on AUD USD, looking to make a play to the downside. And again, I'll update this as always. If we do see this pullback happen, you can see I have an alert set here. That's what this orange line is. Again, we're just going to update it in our analysis channel. So that's AUD USD. Definitely a good trade idea right here. And then to go alongside that, we have AJ, which is looking very promising right now. Kind of the similar story. Very bearish on higher time frames. Definitely broke back into this range this morning, right as we can see here. So I'm honestly looking to make a play to the lower end of this range, around the support level, just around 65.5, so 65.5, right? Just over 200 pips, almost 220. So I'm looking for a 1-hour, pullback. So lower time frame pullback. I want to see, price action pullback to this area, kind of match this lower high here. Maybe come back up to the 67.8 area. That would be nice to see. Maybe a moving average cross, a test of the 200 EMAs would be good too. And then I want to see that bearish setup, right? A nice bearish engulfing. Look, it's crossing right now. Nice bearish engulfing, maybe some exhaustion, some large wicks couldn't hurt. Just something to give us more confidence in this bearish setup, right? In this bearish trade. So definitely a nice pullback would be good to see. It's ideal. It's actually making a nice play right now. And Euro USD is pushing. We'll get to that in a second. So this is obviously going to be updated in the channel as well as this develops. Again, this is probably the one I'll be watching the most. It's definitely the closest to execution. So I'll be watching this and AU. Let's see what else we got. Euro USD. This one is kind of making a play to the upside now. Let's see. 4-hour. So yeah, it's kind of been ranging between. It is bearish on most time frames here, but it has been ranging since the 16th between this area here. Let me go ahead and draw a price label so you guys can see that. Right around here. Right, it's been ranging between here and this major support level, right around 108.250. So I'll give you guys another price label just so you could see it. Right. Okay. So it's been ranging between here. Now we want to see a break, right? I'm not going to trade this range. I just don't feel like it. It's kind of, high risk in my opinion. So I want to see either a break of 108.750, confirming that this could be a play to the upside, that it's breaking key resistance, this structure level, this lower high is being broken. Or, I want to see support broken and then maybe enter on a retest, get some nice bearish setups, nice engulfing, something that's going to give us, again, more confidence in a short here. Either way, we'll be ready for it, but I think this one needs a little bit more time to develop. But keep an eye on the signals channel later in the week for this one, probably around Wednesday, Thursday, but we'll see. All right, let's keep seeing if EJ is kind of the same story as EU. I don't really like where it's at right now, so I put out a daily analysis earlier in the week saying that this just needs more time. Again, this was a huge support area, right? You can see all these wicks, a lot of uncertainty in here. So, and we're actually seeing that now with all these dojis forming. A lot of long wicks on this daily time frame, not a great sign. Again, a crap load of uncertainty, not something we really want to be looking to trade right now. So that's EJ. I'm going to push that off to the side. Not really that important. Let's cover gold. Gold's always a fun one. All right, so we actually saw that, gold was dropping earlier today, and it actually looked like it formed a giant wick on the 4 hour. So yeah, so we're currently at key monthly support. I did give you guys this analysis earlier in the week as, it's mostly bullish. The potential to the downside was there, depending on how US dollar reacted this week. So I give you guys this projection. We want to see the 61.8 break, this 200 EMA break, just below 1640 before we can start considering short positions. But until this breaks, we're definitely bullish, 100% bullish on all time frames. It's done nothing but form great structure, higher high after higher high, right? And we're actually seeing a little bit of consolidation now, which is good. And the fact that gold is holding so well at this monthly, even though the US dollar is pushing up quite a bit today, shows the strength of gold and how many people are actually holding gold and how many buyers there are and how many people are actually looking to, continue to push gold higher. So I'm going to stick with this original projection at 1800. I think we'd actually have a really great potential buy opportunity coming in the next few hours, but we'll see. We will definitely see. Here is the official level we want to see break, right? This would be a conservative entry. If we see, let's call it 1695 break, then we can start looking for more, place to the upside. So yeah, this is definitely the key level we want to see break. Lower time frame structure, right? It would erase this lower high, and then we would get our first higher high in this 4 hour trend potentially, and then we would look for long setups based on this higher low, right? We just want to see those strong confirmations. We're just following price action. We're not predicting anything. I'm not just going to buy here because I think it's going to go up. I want to wait until the market shows me that it has that type of momentum, with a high amount of confidence that's going to make a play to the 1800 level. So be watching this one. I'll probably post this in analysis as well. I won't post it as an actual trade because we like to keep our risk pretty pretty consistent in just trading Forex. So I'll just put this out as a regular analysis for everyone. But yeah, so just a quick recap. This was gold. Definitely the best prospects for this week, I think, are AUD and AJ. Some potential on EU, none on EJ. Not looking at that crap at all. And then definitely a potential move on gold here. So did you pull up the oil chart yet? No, I'll cover oil lightly for you guys because I know there's a lot of talk around it. So again, we covered this earlier in the week too. I think I covered this on Sunday upon request. That we were kind of in this area consolidating, definitely looking super bearish. We were getting strong rejection off the 23.6, right, which was broken support, turn resistance. It simply matched the prior high and then gave us huge bearish confirmation. So we've been short on this. Our sentiment was 100% right. I even said on Sunday, if you go back and watch the blitz, that our likelihood of hitting this negative 27 level is very high, right? And it did. And it honestly blew through it, and even more so. I don't think any of us could have projected zero yesterday, but it did, which coincidentally, or not so coincidentally, lines up with our negative 61% fib level. So it's right there. It hit that. It actually went negative. But just for the sake of technicals, we were right. This was a good analysis, and we actually saw this gap higher. It gapped from pretty much negative to $20 a barrel. So super manipulated, guys. I would just be careful trading oil. It's probably going to be like this for quite a while as things, clear up. But yeah, this was interesting. Definitely a historical day. Definitely a historical chart. You're never going to really see anything like this, as it hasn't happened before. And also, definitely obscure market conditions like Corona happening that's clearly affecting, this commodity. So definitely interesting, something to be aware of, a little more exposure for everybody. Interesting times for sure. So that's what I got for you guys. Look, DXY is kind of pulling back a little bit, which is good. So we just want to see it range for quite a time as it builds stability.
Cool. So that's everything.
Yep. Pretty much.
All right. So we're going to get to it, get trading for today. Again, I'm just gonna share my screen real quick. So see, we got GJ coming back right now. One more time. Right now, we're doing the sale. For you guys that messaged us, we've got at this point 6 spots left. So normally it's $4.99. It's $2.99 right now. There's a lot included in here, guys. There's a lot included that we're offering. We've been building this thing up for the last 10 months or so. We've been putting so much effort into this. You're getting the course, lifetime access, signals, one-on-one training, trading plan, premium chat, everything here, fundamentals, everything we went over. So if you guys are interested in the sale, just shoot me a message after this, and we'll talk more about what's going on. And yeah, that's pretty much it for us today. We're gonna be live again tomorrow. We're gonna be going over, we'll update everything we went over today. And like Nick said, I'm gonna drop all my analysis that I just went over in the analysis chat for free, so you can take a look at it right now. And this will be recorded, so you can go back and you can, rewatch everything that just happened.
Cool. Thanks, guys. And happy trading. Enjoy the rest of the day.
Cool. See you guys later.